Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on how to request a post for your machine in Mastercam. So, a little rundown of what we're going to talk about. So, we'll talk about how to request a new post and the best practices to do so, getting your post installed in Mastercam, and also reviewing the post output and requesting post edits if we need to. So first thing I'm going to talk about is how to request a post. Now you can go to MLC's website at mlc-cad.com, and then under the support and tab you'll look under the Mastercam technical guides, and over on the left hand column you'll see a menu with some options on requesting a post, and you can find in there a mill post request form or a lathe post request form. You can also reach out to your local sales rep and or to the local AE in your area, and he can provide you with these forms as well. Once you have filled out these mill post or lathe post request forms, then we'll determine if that's something that we need to get a quote for. The salesperson will turn that into our post team, and if a quote is required, then your salesperson will reach out to you. So it's very important to have the correct information so that we can have them decide, is this a post that we need to get you a quote for, or is it a post that we have already on file that is free? And yes, we do have some free posts. And I'd like to also just mention that if you are on maintenance with MLC CAD systems on your Mastercam, most post edits are free. So that's a bonus and good reason to keep your maintenance up to date. So here I have a simple mill post request form. This is just a basic form. You can actually fill this form out, so all these fields are active. I already have one filled out already, so basically this is what you would put: your company name, your email, phone number, what version of Mastercam you're using, machine number 1. If you have multiples, notice down below you can add another machine as well. So kind of run through our machine make and model. So we are using a Haas VF2. Our control is a Haas. You may have another machine with a Siemens control. It may be a different version of a Mazak control. Depending on what control you have, that's very important for us. And then we have our spindle. Is it a vertical, horizontal? Do we have a fourth axis? What does it rotate about, A, B, or C? And then we can also add comments down here. So if you have some type of special request, maybe on a lathe that has a tailstock or a bar pull, something like that, maybe something that you need to add a comment. Once you have this form filled out, you'll save it to a location on your computer, and then you'll take this information and email it back to either your sales rep and or to your AE that helped you with this, and they'll get it over to the sales rep as well and let you know that we've received it and it's in process of being created. Another thing that's helpful, if you happen to have a programming manual for the machine, say a digital copy of it. Nowadays you can pretty much get a digital copy from the machine tool manufacturer. It's also helpful to go ahead and attach that to the email as well. The more information that we can get and get it over to our post team, the better post you're going to have when it comes back to you. So once we've filled this out and it's been sent off to you, our process will make a case for this, and we call it a post delivery. We'll contact you and let you know that we have your post ready for delivery, and a lot of times we'll go ahead and attach that post. So if you're capable or feel confident in installing your post and going through the process, that's great. But if not, we're always happy to help get that installed for you and go over the post with you and some of the output as well. So moving forward, we've emailed our post request form. we've created a case and we've now sent this back to you as the customer. So when you get this back, you are going to get a file that's going to come in that comes to you with your machine name. It's going to be a content folder. So here for this demo, I have a Haas Vertical Original Release. So when it comes to you as a content folder, once you have this file, all you have to do is drag and drop this into Mastercam. Now, if you have Mastercam set up properly, all these files will be installed into Mastercam in their correct location. So once I have this, I'm going to go ahead and just hold down my left mouse button on this Haas Vertical Original Release, and I'm going to drag this over into my graphics window of Mastercam. Now, you're going to see this little window pop up over here because I already have this one loaded. So I'm going to minimize my windows here. And it's asking me, what do I want to do with this? Well, I'm going to first of all say apply this action to all conflicts. And I'm going to say replace the original file in the destination folder. I'm going to get a successful extraction copy of all files. I'll say OK to this. And now I need to come put my machine into Mastercam itself. So under my machine tab, the top part of your screen, towards the right, I'll click on machine, and then I'm going to come over to my machine types on the far left hand side, and I'm going to use the drop down under mill. So I'm going to come down to manage list. My machine definition menu manager is going to open, and I'm going to scroll down till I find my Haas vertical machine. I'll left click on it, and I'm going to simply add it over to my machine definition menu. Once I have this over here, I'll go ahead and green check. And now I can go straight to my mill and open up my machine. I have it right here, my Haas vertical. So now I have my Haas vertical. I can expand my properties. And I just want to make a few checks on here just to make sure that everything got brought in properly. So I'm going to go to my Files tab, and whenever I get my Machine Definition Manager open, I'm going to look down here, make sure that I have my Haas vertical mill, pulling it from this file. There's my control, and then I see my post that I have has been installed correctly. And it's just that easy. We'll go ahead and green check. Everything looks good. So skipping forward, I'm going to go ahead and open a part up. And this is just a simple machine part with a pocket and a drill and a pec drill, and then a high-speed pec drill, and then a tapping. So just a simple kind of basic program for us. So notice it already opens up. It has my Haas vertical. I'm going to just go check real quick just to make sure that it is pulling my Haas vertical post for me. And it is. So I'm going to green check. And once I get everything, I've went through my program. I'm happy with everything. I've ran it through backplot, verify, looks good. I'm going to go ahead and post my code. So I'm going to come up, post my code. I'm going to green check. And I'm going to go put this as my 3-axis milling.nc, and I'll save it. Once I get my posted code, I'm going to start looking through my posted code. Everything looks good. There's my pocket. There's my center drill. All that looks good to me so far. Looking through my drilling, and I'm new to this information. I'm not real sure, so everything looks fine to me. But I take this and I go run it through my simulator at Haas, and I get a couple of errors as I'm running it through. And I'm getting errors on this Q value. in my post. So the other thing that I have is I have no spindle. Nothing turns on my spindle for my tap. I don't have an M3. So I need to make some post edits. I know this is not going to run through my machine. So I know that my Haas machine, because I looked at my programming manual, it likes to have decimals for the Q values. So as I'm looking through my program, like I said, everything ran great. Drilled through holes. It doesn't like the Q value. So the Q value is my PEC amount. So I know that I need to make some edits to this program. So I'll just left click on my Q value, and I'm going to just backspace and change this to a 0.05. That is my PEC. I'll do the same thing down here, 0.05. And then I know that on my tap, I'm going to need an M3. So I've made these edits to my post for my drilling and also for my tapping. I know these edits need to happen. I'm going to take this file and I'm going to do a save as. Now once I do this save as, I'm going to save this as 3-axis milling, but I'm going to add to the front edited 3-axis milling. So I'll have my original posted file here, so my as posted file, and then I'm going to have my edited 3-axis mill, and I'm going to hit save. Now once I have this done, I'm going to contact support and ask for some post edits. So when I contact support and ask for these post edits, they're going to ask you for a couple of things, and it's easier if we go ahead and have this stuff right away. So what we require for post edits is a zip-to-go file or a content file, as Mastercam 2023 now creates content files for us. And we require you to have edited code. As well, you can attach the as posted code. Once you have that information that we've already created, we can take that information then and make the edits that are necessary. So when you send those files, we'll create a zip-to-go file first. So I can come to my context menu up at the top. I can either use the zip-to-go file, or I can go file, and I can come down and create a zip-to-go. Either one will work for you. I'm going to go ahead and create a zip-to-go. It says, do you want to save changes to 3-axis milling? Yes, I'll save it. When I get into my zip-to-go wizard, this first one says create, compress your Mastercam files into an M-content, zip-to-go, or a zip package. That's what I want to do, so I'm going to go ahead and left-click here. When I open this window up, it's going to ask me what all do I want to save. Ideally, you can just leave these all checked. If you happen to have a machine simulation issue, you might want to select the machine simulation files. Over on our group type, this is a mill. Otherwise, if it was a lathe, it would have a lathe or a router check. Below it is just all the files that it's going to save. My suggestion is just leave it. We know what to do with everything and know what we need out of it. I can hit my next, and we can say add files or add folders to this if we need to, but we're going to get everything that we need. So I'm going to go ahead and just say finish, and it's going to ask me where do I want to save this. So I'm just going to save this into my desktop folder, post demos. It's a folder that I created already, and I'll save it. Now once I have that saved, if I come look into my post demo, you'll see that I have my content file that I just created. I have my original posted code, and then I have my edited 3-axis posted code. So I'm going to reply back to the email. I'm going to attach these files to the email, going to whoever you have sent the files to or have been in contact with at MLC CAD Systems. And we'll take these files and send them over to our post team. If you can, most time it's best if you can go ahead and give us some information, like, you know, change Q value to 0.05 for drilling, and added M3 on my tapping cycle for my spindle. That gives us an idea of what we're looking for. So once we have that done, what we're going to do is we're going to take this file. So this is our originally posted, or this is our edited post, sorry. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to open up the original posted file. So we'll take this file, we'll run a file compare. And when we run that file compare, we're going to see that we've changed originally from Q500 to the Q.5 in both locations. And then we also see that the M3 has been added and no other edits were made. So that allows our post team to look at this and make the corrections. Moving forward, once we have made those corrections, we will email you the post back with the corrections. And we'll go ahead and close this for now. And once you get the email back from us, you're going to get another content file. So I have went ahead and made the edits, or the post teams made edits, and you'll see something of this nature, your machine with a date. And that means that's the latest one. So you'll save that file off to, you know, wherever you keep your post files. And we're going to walk through the same process that we did when we installed the post for the first time. So I'm going to have this file open. Let me just shrink this up a little bit. I didn't want to shrink. There we go. I'm going to shrink this up. So here's our Haas vertical from today. And I'm just going to drag and drop this over into my graphics window. We're going to get that same window pop up again. I'm going to go ahead and say apply this action to all conflicts so that it replaces all files. I'll left click and I'll get a successful extraction and copy of files. And I'll say OK. Now, if you have your file open the way that I did, it's always a good idea to go back in and reselect your machine and regenerate it just to make sure that you have all the new edits and the new posts. So I'm going to jump into my files over in my toolpath managers, and right here next to my file where it's pulling it from, I'm going to select the folder to the right of that. It's going to open up all my machine files. I'm going to scroll down till I find my Haas vertical right here, and I'll left click on Haas vertical and say OK. Now what that's done is reloaded the new information that we just got back. So I'm going to go ahead and green check, and for me I like to select everything, go ahead and regenerate, and then I'm going to post my code. So I'll come up, hit my G1 button, it's asking me to post code, I'm going to say OK, and I'm going to go to my folder that we posted this code in before, and I'm going to go ahead and leave it as 3-axis milling. I'll hit save. It's going to say, do you want to replace? Yes, I want to replace it, and I'll get my posted code. So I'm going to take this code, look through it, and now I notice that everything that I changed, my Q value is now 0.05, and on both of my drills, and now I'm getting a posted code as an M3. So now I can take this code, I can run it at my machine and verify that I'm not going to get any alarms, and feel confident that now whenever I run this post, everything is going to come out with no errors at my machine, and I will be able to run a good quality part. I hope this was helpful for you. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to MLC CAD Systems at Mastercam support. We will be happy to help you with all this. And if you need help making edits as well, please let us know. We'll be happy to help that and get the files that we need so that we can get you a good quality post.